Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaro. The Torah says that when the Ten Commandments were given, it was a momentous occasion in the history of mankind. One of the things that happened was you heard the sound of the shofar. Kol ha-shofar holech v'chazek me'od. The voice of the shofar, the sound of the shofar, became stronger and stronger. In fact, on Rosh Hashanah, when we blow the shofar, why do we do it? One of the reasons is because Abraham sacrificed an animal instead of his son Isaac. Because at the last moment, God told him, no, I don't want a human sacrifice. It was only to test his loyalty to God, so he sacrificed an animal. So we blow the shofar, which is made out of the horn of an animal, to sort of bring to mind the fact that we were willing to sacrifice ourselves for the sake of God, so to speak. But God does not want human sacrifice. Another reason is because when the Ten Commandments were given, the shofar was blown also. But it's very interesting what it says. It says like this: Kol ha-shofar, the sound of the shofar, holech v'chazek me'od. It becomes increasingly stronger. Reality is the other way around. If you are close to the sound of something, it is very strong. The further you go away from the source of the sound, the less decibels you have. You don't hear that much. And here it says the other way around, that the further you got away from it, the stronger it became. What is it trying to teach us? So some say the following, the Torah was given in Mount Sinai. What has happened to the Torah throughout these years? Has it become less and less? Are people studying less and less? Or is it becoming stronger and stronger? When something really has worth, as time passes, it becomes even more important. There is a story of Agatha Christie, who was a writer of mysteries. She was married to an archaeologist. So a reporter once asked her, Miss Christie, how is it being married to an archaeologist? You are a writer. Oh, she says, wonderful. Why? Because with every year that passes, my husband finds me more interesting. Well, that's a joke. Okay, but the idea is that if you find something 2,000 years ago and it's still preserved, that means it has some worth, that time has not conquered it. To the contrary. And actually, you can measure things by the impact that they have, not at the moment. 20 years later, 100 years later. Are Beethoven's symphonies still played today? He lived many years ago. Tchaikovsky lived many years ago, and it's still played today. There is music today. Maybe some of it will be played later on, but maybe some won't be. It won't go through the test of time. So maybe what it's trying to tell us, Kol ha-shofar holech v'chazek me'od. It becomes stronger and stronger. The teaching of the Torah is so important, so profound. Without it, you can't live. As a matter of fact, as time passes, it becomes stronger and stronger. I personally believe that there was never in the history of the Jewish people as many yeshivot as we have today, as many people studying the Torah as you have today in Israel and in different parts of the world. There's something called Daf Yomi, to study a page of the Talmud every day. This was instituted by a Rabbi Shapiro, who created the Yeshiva Chachmei Lublin in Poland, and my late father was at the inauguration of that yeshiva. Why was that important? It was the first yeshiva that had a dormitory. In other words, you didn't have to go and sleep in somebody's home. They had a dormitory. Different, Daf Yomi, study a page of the Talmud every day. It takes 7 years and something to go through the Talmud. At the end of 7 years, in Madison Square Garden, there are celebrations. dozens of thousands of Jews present to celebrate the end of the period of study of the Talmud. They did it themselves. I once heard somebody say, do you know what it is to pray Mariv, one of the prayers that you say at night, with 50,000, with 80,000 people, and you hear how they answer at certain moment. What the Chazan is saying, they're supposed to answer. You know what impression that is? I think that we are living in extraordinary times because the Torah is truth. Its teachings are very important. And as time goes by, they become stronger and stronger. Make sure that you take part of it. Why don't you become a member of this strong stream of intellectual endeavor and spiritual growth that is signified by the Torah?